Bienvenidos a Opulent LD TV, desde St. Paul, Minnesota, directamente a Miami, Florida, trayéndote todo el fuego.
It's the God, Opulent LDTV, and I'm back. Blessings, tribe. So the $1 trillion question is, can non-blacks use the N-word? And I'm going to just go ahead and say that this is something that I always say. Any man, woman from any culture can say whatever you want to say. But, and that's a capital B-U-T, but you have to deal with the consequences that comes behind it. I believe and feel the real question is, if you're an other, and when I say other, I mean non-melanated individual, the real question is, why would you want to use the word when you know the history of the word and you know that melanated people have taken the word and they have, switched it up and they use it for a term of endearment. Like, why would you want to use the word? A lot of people love to say, well, I'm from the hood, or black people, they say to me. And my thing is like, okay, in my opinion, there's two types of black people, right? You have black people who respect and love themselves, and then you have those Negroes who want validation from people outside of them. So when I hear people say, well, they say it to me all the time, or I'm from the hood. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of people in the hood are in survival mode. The last thing they really care about is if you say the N-word to them. They're thinking about their next meal. And I can't say all people in the hood because I'm not going to cap. Just because you're in poverty, that doesn't mean you're not intelligent. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of these cats, for the most part, in poverty, the last thing they really care about is if you say the N-word, because they're thinking about their next meal. And also, a lot of these cats, they just have self-love issues. They don't love themselves. I mean, you see how, a lot of these cats, like, they don't even take care of themselves. They're overweight, always sick, always got something going on, like. But it's just ridiculous that people would want to use the word so bad. Like, it's like people, for the most part, it's like their heads pop off if they can't use a word. It's definitely mind-boggling to me. But the whole I'm from the hood excuse is pure bullshit, because, like I said, I'm from Minnesota. I was actually born in the projects up there. And a lot of people, there ain't no projects in Minnesota. Man, there's projects everywhere, fam. Like, the only difference in hoods is the terrain. One place got mountains. Some places are flat. The weather, the terrain and the weather, that's the only thing different. That's the only difference in hoods. Yes. Yeah, maybe your hood has more black genocide than mine that I grew up in. Maybe it does. Yeah, that could be true, but the same activities goes down, right? So I say that to say that, being from the projects, being from quote unquote hood, right? There's been plenty of white people there. There's been white people there. There's been Asians. There's been people of different cultures there. There's been others there, right? Who grew up around a lot of people using the N-word, and they still haven't used it. So the whole excuse of being from the hood as the reason you use the word being a other is pure bullshit. It's pure bullshit, man. And I'm just tired of hearing that excuse. If you love being around self-hating Negroes who don't love themselves or their culture, first off, if you're an other and you truly respect the culture, why would you even want to use the word? That's what it comes down to. It just shows what it comes down to. This is what it really comes down to. Like, you don't respect the culture. A lot of these cats, they don't respect the culture. Because if you truly respected the culture, you wouldn't want to use the word. And you wouldn't use the word, regardless of if you grew up in the hood or around a lot of black people or black people using it on you. You wouldn't want to use it. And that's just what it comes down to. So you have no respect to the culture. You just want to emulate the culture to sound cool. And as a melanated man, I don't feel closer to you by you using the N-word at all. I don't. I like my favorite type of white people, Caucasians, are Caucasians who know they're Caucasian. And I'm not saying that you can't be a Caucasian and not like hip hop or nothing like that. Like, I don't have no issue with that. But when you try to press that line of using the N-word, then it's like, okay, all right, bro, I can't fuck with you now. I can't. I just can't. Just something in my bones is like, nah, it just don't sit right with me. It will never sit right with me. You have some Negroes who are gonna accept this. I'm just not one of them. I'm just not. And just depending on your goals in life, I hear people from others say it, but bro, I'm not out here to fight everybody. I'm not gonna be fighting everybody over a word. I'm just gonna stay the fuck from around you, and that's that. That's just how I do it. Like I said, it'll get noted, and I just stop dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, they love to emulate this great culture, right? But they don't respect it. And that's the big problem. And there's a lot of course, self-hate within the culture, and they don't respect themselves. And so they just use the word freely. And I mean, me personally, I do use the word, but I know my audience. I don't use it around people I don't use it around others. Maybe I slip up sometimes, but for the most part, I know my audience, and I don't use it around just anybody. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we got a lot of brothers with self-hate problems, and they want validation from others, and they use it. And that's another reason. That's why a lot of these others think they can use it, because they get called by brothers. But like I said, a lot of these cats are in survival mode, man. They thinking about their next meal. The last thing that they really focused on is the wordage of it. Or they just don't respect themselves. That's what, like I said, a lot of this shit just comes back to self. I believe and feel, if you're a melanated man, you're not gonna respect anybody saying that. You ain't gonna respect the other saying that to you. You're just not. And I respect most an other who doesn't want to use it. That's what I give my full respect to. So that's all I got on this. Man, hit my comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. I know this is an uncomfortable conversation, but I like uncomfortable conversations. Shit. So, hey, it's the God Opulent LDTV reminding you that when you're in these streets, prosper energetically. I'm gone.